But the Palestinian people's right to self-determination, their right to justice, must also be recognized.
Rafi, you've written speeches in your career. The president's speech oozed with friendship and warmth and understanding and commitment to Israel's future. And then came the punchline. For its own good, Israel must be prepared to enter into a peace process that includes painful compromise. Will he find an Israeli government that's ready and willing to go down that road?
Well, of course. I mean, the Israeli government for the past 4 years have been committed to the two-state solution, as Prime Minister Netanyahu said in his Bar Ilan speech, and as he said again last night in the joint press conference with President Obama. Prime Minister Netanyahu said time and time again, Israel is willing to make compromises for peace, and he kept calling on the Palestinians to return to the negotiation table without any preconditions. It's the Palestinians that have refused time and time again to accept this offer for negotiations.
Well, President Obama wanted to put the burden really on both sides, and he wants to know, what is the Israeli government really willing to do to try to move things from just declarations of a two-state solution, but to actually do something that will help the Palestinians to actually come to the negotiating table? Is anything like that being considered?
Well, again, the only way to negotiate is without any preconditions. Even President Obama said that today in Ramallah, when he was asked about the issue of settlements, for example. He said, maybe in different words, but the only way to resume talks is without any preconditions. And Israel is willing to sit down and talk even right now.
The President also made a comment about settlement building in disputed territories, that it hinders the chances for fruitful negotiations. Does the Prime Minister yet have an idea about how he's going to proceed with this new government, of course, on the issue of settlements? He doesn't necessarily have a cabinet that is going to stop building, but rather perhaps many in the cabinet will try to increase the pace of building.
Well, this is one of the issues that will have to be negotiated with the Palestinians, of course. Prime Minister Netanyahu is committed to peace talks, and even though he's leading a coalition government, and not everyone may agree, but there's no point in talking about things that are hypothetical before we can even sit down and talk with the Palestinians about any issue.
The President also made a comment that, in his view, Abu Mazen and the Palestinian Authority are real partners for peace negotiations with Israel. There are some within the Israeli cabinet today that don't really buy it. Some very senior people, in fact, that don't think that the Palestinian Authority is even a positive force in the Middle East and can't play any positive role. How are you going to proceed?
Again, a partner for peace has to talk about peace. So if they want to prove that they are partners for peace, come back to the negotiation table. Let's talk and negotiate all the core issues.
Well, does the Prime Minister's office at this time agree with the idea that there really is a partner for peace? Today, I mean, we just heard a few days ago, we heard Abu Mazen say that he and Hamas are more or less the same. They're along the same ideology, and they're looking always for reconciliation. And today we had rockets fired by terrorist groups, an area that's controlled by Hamas, fire rockets into Israel. Do you believe, does the Prime Minister's office believe, that there is a partner for peace there, as Obama says?
Well, as President Obama said, he condemned the fire rocket by Hamas. He said that the Palestinian Authority cannot continue with reconciliation with the current Hamas without